Hey, Dan. So, this is how the day started yesterday. I was driving back from somewhere early in the morning, from Hy-Vee maybe to Mugby, and the fog was so thick because it was so warm already, and there was so much moisture in the air that the fog was just really, it was just socked in. You couldn't even see across the lake. But I thought this picture of this, or when I drove by and I saw the way the light was shining through the trees, I thought this was especially beautiful. And I was fairly certain there was going to be hell to pay given these temperatures, 63, and then in the afternoon, 66, and then by 4:30 in the evening, it was almost dark, and it was 67. And then, of course, we get this warning coming through from the National Weather Service about dire predicament. And I thought, yeah, right, we're not going to get that. So this is how the evening started when the storm really started kicking up. The winds weren't bad at this point, but the lightning was really beautiful, the way it was lighting up the bluffs and these dark, dark clouds and whatever those things are floating around in the distance. Anyway, it was really pretty. And I think if I had a deck proper, I would have actually sat out. I mean, Lord knows it was warm enough. It was still like 65 degrees at that point. Yeah, just really, really pleasant outside. So there we all were, Colleen and Beth and I, Pip, Sadie, Milo, and Lady Bird all sitting down in the basement, enjoying the fire while the storm raged outside. And we heard a giant crash. And we didn't know whether it was thunder, whether it was the house falling in or what. We didn't feel the house move, so that was something. But when I went outside, this is what I found. So you obviously you can't really see the tree, but it was laying, on the upper part of the roof. Let's see if I can actually shoot some video without shaking so much. On the upper part of the roof, you can see that big limb up there, and then hanging on the lower part. And then twice during the night, the whole thing, and you can see the grill has actually been blown out from underneath the deck out into the yard and got trashed. So that's the big part of the limb that's up top. Well, during the night, the wind was still blowing so hard, not quite as hard as this, but so hard, that the whole thing shifted off the roof at 11 p.m. and then again at 2 a.m. I mean, just making a tremendous noise. So essentially it was rolling towards the garage. Inexplicably, it did not take out my deck, my wee little deck that I made. So I was pretty pleased about that. A high velocity wind event or something like that. So there's tons of damage over in the cemetery apparently. So let's do a little walking tour back into the neighborhood. So this is the big beautiful fir tree that was not a very deep root ball, but you can see it actually just, the whole thing just uprooted. So it looks like the wind, so there's our house way down there, that the wind came just right down the street or down through the neighborhood. That sign obviously got bent over. A couple more trees back in here, but miraculously nobody's house got. I don't see any trees, and both of these trees fell. I don't see any trees on anybody's houses, which is great. There's a big tree there that fell down. And then as we walk down the street towards our house, you've got that tree right in the middle of the street. The lady that lives over here said she saw it blowing down the street last night. So I'll show you where it came from. It came from right there. And I tried to roll it just to get it out of the street. Too heavy. And I don't have a chainsaw. But people can get around it. This one uprooted. Our fence post snapped off. There's one snapped off, two snapped off. That one's just bent, so we should be able to get the we're just gonna have to put some fence back in somehow. I don't know how we're gonna do that. We'll figure it out, I guess. And then this tree shifted in the night. You can see it tore the gutter up there. I can't tell if it tore any of the roof up. It might have. It might have done some soffit or some fascia damage, but I can't really tell. So we just need to get, obviously, get all these limbs out. So I got a guy coming out today who is, I called him last night right when it happened. So he's gonna come out and he's gonna take this whole tree down and get rid of it for me, which is super nice. I mean, I'm paying him, so it's not that nice. Anyway, so the grill is interesting because the grill was right there last night, and then I found it out here in the yard after. So somehow that wind came in and swirled around and pulled that grill out. Anyway, and that's kind of the extent of the damage. You know, there's trees that I thought would fall that didn't. Last year, not last year, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, we lost the top of this tree. It has since grown back. And I thought for sure that would fall, but that didn't. So that's about it. I don't think there's anything farther down in the neighborhood. So it was just, you know, right in here. And the rest of town is pretty okay. So I'm glad I got on calling the tree guy right away last night, because I was his first call, but not his last. So he was able to come out and take down the rest of the tree and actually grind up not only the one stump, but the other stump that I've been trying to get rid of by burning it out. So you can see the damage. The avalanche guard got torn up pretty good. Some of the roofing on the backyard side of the upper roof got bungled. You can see the gutters are dented and pulled down. I don't know if that's, you know, if I'm going to have to replace those, but, you know, I've got insurance and the gutter guy can come and tell me what he thinks. In the meantime, the roofing guys are coming out tomorrow. You can see there on the right, there's a little bit of a fascia cracked. So I don't know exactly how to fix that, but we'll figure it out. You know, otherwise, I guess we're pretty lucky that that's really all that happened. You know, I guess I have a wide open backyard now with a really, really big gate. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.